Hello everyone, I'm Sofi. I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And today I'll continue reading from The Promise, the biography of my Guru, His Eminence the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche. And we will start from page 87. There's a picture there with a caption. From young, Rinpoche always liked Manjusri's mantra Om Arapa Zanadi and thought that since he disliked school, he could chant Manjusri's mantra so that he could do less work, but still perform well at school. He would spend many hours at the temple meditating on this particular image of Manjusri. There's another picture of the school, the Land Opines Elementary School, where Rinpoche studied as a child. Make-believe and sharing pictures. At the Bugayevs, his parents lavished everything material on the young Rinpoche. His cousins and friends always yearned to visit him as he had a basement full of toys. However, this extraordinary boy did not find as much pleasure in the things the average child loved as he did in the Dharma. What he really wanted was a Buddha statue of his own, but this was denied to him. At home, Rinpoche would often sit on his bed in meditation posture, wrapped in a bed sheet as if it was a monk's robe. He would visualize himself as a Lama giving teachings to a large imaginary audience. He would write gibberish on long strips of paper in a style similar to traditional Tibetan scriptures known as pechas, and pretending that he was composing many sacred texts which he would then teach to these students. He would also make up imaginary mudras, ritual hand gestures, to accompany imaginary prayers and pretend to be doing sacred rituals. In his free time, Rinpoche would stay for hours at the library and spend all his pocket monies on photocopying Buddha's images to give away. He was especially fond of John Blofeld's book, Mantras, Sacred Words of Power, and photocopied several images from that book to distribute to his friends. Today, Rinpoche is still just as passionate about producing Buddha's images in the form of pictures, pendants, and statues to give away to people, and he encourages his students to do the same. A talented artist from young, he would spend hours drawing and painting various Buddha forms, which he won prizes for at school. Occasionally, he would also draw and color small Buddha images, which he would wrap in plastic sheets, attach to a string and pass out to his relatives and friends as pendant to wear for blessings and protection. The other children did not share Rinpoche's enthusiasm for Buddha images and would tell him, "You're crazy, I'm not going to wear that weird green god." Rinpoche would reply, "But she's a goddess." They would only scream back at him, "I don't care." Page 88, there's a picture with a caption, Green Tara pendant, hand-drawn in magic marker by Rinpoche when he was around 12 years old. And there's another caption, Rinpoche's passion for Buddha pendants and images has never waned, inspired by a strong wish to make these images available to everyone. Rinpoche personally designed many of these pendants crafted within his Buddhist organization, Kechara. This led to the creation of many more beautiful and varied pendants to suit all lifestyles. As you can see, the pendants there. Page 89, the caption of the picture. As a young child, Rinpoche loved drawing Buddha images. This drawing of Shakyamuni Buddha is one of his few early paintings that had been lovingly preserved over the years. Here's the picture of the Buddha Shakyamuni that Rinpoche had painted. And now page 90, the caption. Many years later, Rinpoche still paints on a rare occasion when he has free time. Page 91. More than imagination. There were other examples of Rinpoche's unusual connection to the Dharma. As a child, he was shown a photo of the female tantric Buddha Vrajayogini in the temple and immediately thought, this practice can take us beyond this world quickly. What he felt matches exactly the benefit of Vrajayogini's powerful practice, which can take the practitioners to enlightenment in a single lifetime. The first time Rinpoche met this holy Buddha Vrajayogini was when he saw a statue of her draped in a blue kata, ceremonial scarf, in Khenso Rinpoche Lobsang Tachin's room in RGL. Upon sight, he instantly felt that she must be very powerful because he had tremendous faith in Khenso Rinpoche Lobsang Tachin and believed that if his guru prayed to her, she must be very special. At a later date, he received a 5R size picture of Vrajayogini in red and white at RGL. Excited, Rinpoche went home and showed it to his mother. Shocked and horrified, she said, "That's not a Buddha. It's some kind of Tibetan god. You better not keep that in the house." Disappointed but unperturbed, Rinpoche hid the picture in his bedroom and kept it close to him. Later, he was to take this and only a few other precious Buddha images and items with him when he left Howell on his fateful journey to Los Angeles. Many mornings, Rinpoche would miss the school bus because he had spent the whole of the previous night secretly reading Dharma books under the covers by torchlight and reciting mantras quietly. I would die to get teachings. I would tremble with excitement, anticipation, and glee before teachings and initiations. I would sit there through the whole thing with my breath held. When it finished, I would feel depressed because I loved the Dharma and I did not know what was waiting for me at home. Sam Rinpoche. Tibetan Yoga and Secret Doctrines by W.Y. Evans Wentz was among his favorite books, and he would secretly engage in the meditations from that book night after night in his room. He had to read and do the meditations very carefully and quietly, as he was never allowed to close his bedroom door. Sometimes his mother would even come into his room in the middle of the night and stare at him to see if he was still awake. If he was caught awake, she would scream at him. The shouting and abuse would go on for hours. He became very skilled at pretending to be asleep. If he missed the bus, he would end up having to walk about half an hour to school, which was 5 to 6 miles away. Sometimes when it rained, he would go to his family's shrine room and light a zula, a Mongolian butter lamp, and offer incense to the medicine Buddha on the family altar, reciting Om Mani Padme Hum, as he did not know any other mantras then. He would ardently pray to medicine Buddha to stop the rain so he could walk to school. Every time the rain would stop for him to walk the distance to school, and only start drizzling again just as he had arrived within sight of the school. He also often had dreams of medicine Buddha appearing to him from the sky to protect him against the bullies at school or to help him in various ways. The caption of the picture, Medicine Buddha. Here's a picture with the caption on page 92. Rinpoche always had a strong connection to the Buddha Manjushri and Vrajayogini. This Vrajayogini statue is the one at RGL which Rinpoche saw when he was a child. Page 93, family. I babysat him one summer. There was no school, so they needed someone to watch him all day. He was mischievous and a real prankster. Su Gugaju. Despite his parents' opposition to his Dharma practice, Rinpoche would borrow Dharma books, which he read voraciously. He would call up students of Khenso Rinpoche Lobsang Tarshin to clarify Dharma questions. Rinpoche also liked to visit another Dharma friend, Carmen Kishikov, a Kalmyk Mongolian who was born in France. She was a very devoted student of Khenso Rinpoche Lobsang Tarshin who lived near Rinpoche and had a large library of Dharma books that Rinpoche would often borrow. Unfortunately, despite her affectionate and caring friendship with this little boy, Rinpoche's parents disapproved of Carmen, as with anything related to his Dharma practice, often referring to her sarcastically as the nun. Indeed, Carmen did take ordination as a nun, and to this day goes by the name Tupten Choyit. At least once a week, Rinpoche would visit Carmen and spend as much time as he could with her. If he could not visit, he would call her and talk for hours about Dharma, which she was happy to share. Rinpoche especially loved the summer holidays, when his parents would go to work, and he would be free to visit the temple and his friend Carmen. If his family called him what he did, if his family asked him what he did during the day, he would merely reply that he had been watching TV at home. It was ironic that his own Buddhist parents thought watching TV was better than spending time studying the Dharma. When Rinpoche was 8 years old, his cousin, Suzy Gugaju, came to babysit him during the summer. Rinpoche was very fond of Suzy because she looked after him well. She even took him out, though she was not supposed to. Rinpoche also spent some time with his other cousins, affectionately known as the DP sisters, because their initials were all DPs. Aunt Meda, Rinpoche's mother's sister, was a working mother raising 4 daughters on her own. Rinpoche would often be allowed to go over and babysit the 4 girls, which gave him some time away from his strict routine at home. And you see from the picture, Rinpoche and his cousin Suzy or Su Gugaju. Page 94, and friends along the way. And you see all the pictures of Rinpoche with his family, his relatives. And you see the top right, that's Sarah Andreu, and there's Suzy, Su Gugaju, and there's Diane Polchinov, Darlene Polchinov, and this would be the DP girls. And there's Anila Tupten Choyit and Debbie Polchinov, then Daniel Polchinov, and Aunt Meda. Okay, and you see Rinpoche with the DP sisters. The caption of the picture, Rinpoche and the DP sisters who he would babysit. He's fully well-rounded, so when he's teaching you about abuse and all these things, it's coming from his heart, from the deep core of his soul, because he suffered this and went through it himself. He could teach you compassion. He forgave. He doesn't harbor any ill will towards anyone. He doesn't hate anybody. This was his journey. Sarah Andreev, Rinpoche's cousin who he grew up with. There was a thunderstorm. I was young, and Rinpoche was babysitting us because my mum was working late or out that evening. The lights had gone out, so it made it even scarier. During the thunderstorm, he, Rinpoche, lit a candle and brought one of my mum's Buddhas out. And he started chanting a prayer. And I thought to myself, where did he learn to do that? How does he know that, being of such a young age? And I felt very safe. I felt very comfortable and at ease. I believed everything he was telling me at that time, that we were going to be fine, that everything was okay. That fear kind of just dissolved as soon as he started chanting. He had that eloquence in his voice to sound exactly like the monks at the temple. Diane Polchinov. Page 97. Meeting the Buddha. I remembered crying non-stop when I met His Holiness the Dalai Lama. He was very ethereal. I felt in my heart that he was perfect. I felt in my heart how lucky I was to meet a deity in human form. He was very beautiful and captivating, and his voice was like a bell, clear, crisp, strong, effortless, yet penetrating. Sam Rinpoche. From a young age, Rinpoche was fascinated by the Buddha's Manjushri, Vrajayogini, Heruka, Paldanlamo, and Avalokiteshvara, and was profoundly affected by Avalokiteshvara's prayer and the 8 verses of thought transformation, a mind-training prayer and practice. He would spontaneously chant Avalokiteshvara's mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, and after many years of prayer and hundreds of thousands of mantras, Rinpoche finally met Avalokiteshvara himself. In 1979, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama arrived for the first time in America, gracing the Kalmyk Mongolian Lama Geshe Ngawang Wangyal's Dharma Center in Washington, New Jersey. This was where Rinpoche first met the Dalai Lama. During this most auspicious occasion, Rinpoche, together with the many devoted Tibetans, Mongolians, and Americans who were in attendance, received the oral transmission of Om Mani Padme Hum and the 8 verses of thought transformation. Rinpoche vividly recalls that there was a white butterfly flitting around the Dalai Lama during the entire teaching, and there were rainbows in the sky for the whole week. Page 98, you see Rinpoche amongst the attendees. And the caption, the 14-year-old Rinpoche at a precious and historical teaching by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama in 1979, attended by hundreds of devoted Americans, Tibetans, and Mongolians, including Rinpoche's parents. Page 99. Rinpoche cried non-stop when meeting the Dalai Lama. His parents were embarrassed by their son's emotional reaction and screamed at him. For once, Rinpoche was unperturbed by anything his parents had to say, for he was so thoroughly enraptured by the Dalai Lama's perfect teachings. Throughout his childhood, Rinpoche had many timely and perfect opportunities to meet with highly attained lamas and Buddhist masters, even in a place as remote as a small American suburb in New Jersey, including His Holiness Kapje Ling Rinpoche, who visited Rashi Jempel Ling in Howell. He also experienced a deep and spontaneous attraction to high lamas such as His Holiness Trijang Rinpoche and His Holiness Pabongka Rinpoche just from seeing their images in books. He would cry upon seeing these pictures, then photocopy their photos, keep them preciously and pray to them without even knowing who they were, what they had done, or how they may have been at all related to him before. His profound, inexplicable, and unwavering devotion and awe towards these lamas kept him close to the teachings and practice right up until the time he entered formal monastic education. Usually, to be so intimately drawn and devoted to such teachers at such a young age is a strong indication of a being strong guru devotion and commitment to spiritual practice from his previous lives. It would only be revealed to Rinpoche later that he had a profound connection to this same Lama's lineage of teachings in his previous lives. As Gedun Nyedrak, for instance, he had known that His Holiness the 13th Dalai Lama was facing obstacles in his life. Thus, Gedun Nyedrak entered a White Tara retreat dedicated to the 13th Dalai Lama's long life and to absorb the Dalai Lama's obstacles onto himself. Gedun Nyedrak passed away while in retreat, and his reincarnation, Sam Rinpoche, had reconnected once again with the 14th Dalai Lama in this lifetime. And for today, I will be stopping here to continue tomorrow. And now we'll go to my Facebook to see if there's any questions. Right, there's no questions. And tomorrow I'll be continuing with the book reading. And I hope that you'll be sharing the time with me. Thank you very much for today, for your sharing the time with me for my reading. And it would be good that if you get a copy of the book, The Promise, for yourself, so that you may be able to read it thoroughly and to see the pictures clearly. Thank you. And now I'll end it with the completion dedication in Tibetan. Jangyup Sencho Rinpoche, Make Panam Geyushi, Ge Panam Pame Payang, Goni Gondu Pewasho, Toni Tawa Rinpoche, Make Panam Geyushi, Ge Panam Pame Payang, Goni Gondu Pewasho, Daso Jini Sapage Wadi, Dandan Drowa Guna Gampada, Jepa Jesu Losan Trapai, Tamping Imporindu Sa Sesho, Kewa Kuntu Yanda Lamadan, Drami Chuki Palalo Joji, Sadam Langi Yaterazone, Doje Changi Opangotuso, Gewadi, Yududa, Lamasang Yudriune, Drewa Chikia Malupa, Dehi Sala Gopasho, Joki Kyoko Sungkapa, Josunam Papewala, Keki Sama Siwadang, Jungi Malu Sangwasho, Dadam Sungi Dusundan, Drewa Songi Latene, Gewa Losan Trapai, Tapa Yuriva, Yushi, Nimo Dele Sendele, Nimigunyan Deleshi, Nisentato Dele Pel, Concho Sungi Jingilo, Concho Sungi Ngodruso, Concho Sungi Trasi, Jesu Lama Kusen Rapting Ching, Nam Katrini Chocho Kepada, Losam Tempe Dromi Sapsungi, Droe Musa Tatuni, Yushi, Kamwe Rawe Koe Shingam Dem, Pendan Dewa Malu Gyoini, Cheran Sik Wan Tensing Getsoi, Shapeshi De Badu Deng Yushi. Home, Tompe Ngodro Malupa, Dene Dala Sel Duso, Kodan Dempa Long Chotnam, Kepa Soshik Shukten Sel. Thank you.